All right, guys, it's been a busy week. I'm fucking pissed off because I just did this video and fucking the shit turned off. It's been a busy week. I really haven't done a video. I was caught up with it wasn't supposed to be a big deal, but everybody made it into one. It was some bullshit with Jake Lewis. But that's been taken care of. Also, it's been a busy week because it's back to school. Got some kids at school. Family reunion with a birthday party earlier this week. Family. And I got a girlfriend now. So it's been a good season start, I guess you would say. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but I'm pissed off because I just did this Impact review, and fucking 5 minutes in, the fitty camera stopped. All right, so I'm gonna be quick again. Like I said, every time this happens, the second take isn't as good as the first. Impact started off with EC3 and the Hardy Boys. Matt wants one more shot. This should be happening at Bound for Glory, but it's not. I mean, why not build up? TNA builds up their big matches within 2 weeks' time. And, you've got, 6 to 5 weeks or something to Bound for Glory. You could build up for that, But whatever. He wants a rematch. Match should be going over, but it shouldn't be at Impact. It should be at Bound for Glory. But EC3 says he won't give him one unless Jeff Hardy agrees to be as his personal assistant for life if Matt Hardy loses. Or it's probably going to be for as long as EC3's champion. And then they got to think about it. I'm going to tell you what I think they're going with this later on. So then the second match was Melendez versus Eric Young for Melendez's leg. I thought Melendez was going to go over, but of course they can't give him a break. EY wins, and then EY is like, give me that leg! And then all of a sudden Melendez is like, fuck, and he gives him the leg. And then EY, yeah! He's crazy. He's real crazy. The next match was a triple threat match. This was like a filler match with all the titles on the line. Minus the world. Sorry, guys, I got sinus infection. This was another GFW TNA match. Sanjay Dutt versus TJZ and El Tigre Uno, the champion. And El Tigre retains. El Tigre Uno retains. Good match, 3 stars. And then the next match was the Revolution versus the Wolves for the Tag Team Championship. This match has happened 100 times, but whatever. James Storm said this is the last chance that they have to win the tag titles. So, it's a good match. It's another 3-star match. I was going to give it 4 stars, but it was a good 3-star match. During the match, Mahabali Shira comes out, and he starts fighting fucking James Storm and sending that motherfucker to the back. So the Wolves take out Abyss, and then they beat the shit out of Manic. They throw him, and then they kick him, and then Edwards powerbombs Manic while Richards gets behind him and gives him a backstabber. And they pin Manic to retain the championship. That's what they do. The main event, for some reason, is Dixie Carter deciding if she wants Jeff Jarrett to run Impact on a weekly basis. And Karen's like, it's going to be big. So, yeah, am I recording? Okay. And then after that, the Hardy Boys come back out. Hardy's revenge! And then Jeff Hardy goes, EC3, I'll agree to your stipulation because my brother's not going to lose. Matt for champ! And the Hardy Boys accept Ethan Carter's challenge. So it's official. EC3 defending against Matt Hardy. And if EC3 goes over, Jeff will be his assistant forever. Or unless they do a thing where it has to be for as long as Carter's the champ. Now here's where I think they're going to go with it. Matt should win this match, but he shouldn't win it on Impact. He should win it at Bound for Glory. I thought that's what they were going because the show's in his home state. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm fucking sick, yo. It's in his home state. And what I think they're going to go is Matt Hardy's going to lose. And then fucking it's going to be like JBL and HBK in 2009. EC3's going to smack him around a little bit and be his master. And then at Bound for Glory, it's like Hardy challenging for the belt. Jeff Hardy challenging for the belt and his freedom or whatever. That sounds good on paper and it makes sense. And especially with it being in his home state, maybe that's the best thing to go. TNA believes in Hardy, and Hardy's their one last big star. Well, him and Angle, but Angle is on his way out. That makes sense, but we've already seen Hardy win the title at Bound for Glory. twice. He's becoming the new Sting. I mean, it would have been nice to see Matt Hardy. Yeah, Jeff Hardy, I meant, won the title twice. Matt Hardy being in his home state, maybe this was his chance to shine. The storyline has been with him mainly, being the guy, chasing the title, while Jeff was home hurt, so it makes sense. Like, I don't know why they're not doing it. But I guess Jeff Hardy's the way to go, I guess. I mean, he is a big guy, but it's kind of like John Cena. We've seen it already. The next match was the women's match. I didn't even remember who was the champion. It was the two girls that took out Tara and Terrell. Brooke with her big, juicy, meaty ass. Yeah. And fucking Velvet Sky coming out looking like a rocker chick trying to be like Lita. This was a pretty okay match, but for some reason the Dollhouse came out and beat the shit out of Brooke. So I'm like, okay, Tara Terrell's been taken out. Maybe she left TNA, like the rumor said, and then they're going to join with Velvet. But then they beat the crap out of Velvet, and they cause a DQ or whatever. And Rebel came out, the diva, the knockout Rebel. She came out like Jon Stewart at SummerSlam. Like, she came out, and we already knew what she was going to do. And, of course, I'm like, don't do it, Rebel. And then Rebel turns on the girls, the good girls, and joins the Dollhouse, making me think that she was a new leader. But then, of course, Taryn shows up on the Jumbotron. My Dollhouse now has 4 members, and you've met the new member, Rebel. So Rebel's in the Dollhouse. I see potential in Rebel, and I know she's going to be featured more because the Dollhouse is featured a lot. The only thing is, I don't know what the point of Gail Kim taking them out was. If that was, if they're just back like nothing happened. Another thing, I meant to say, the 2 girls who took out Taryn was actually Gail and Velvet, not Gail and Brooke. Yeah, interesting. 4 girls, and Rebel is actually one of my favorites. She's 36, and she's fucking sexy as hell. Holy shit. So yeah, next was a fatal 4-way match with 4 former champions. Yeah. 4 former champions, world champions, fighting for who faces the King of the Mountain champion, PJ Beck. PJ! And then it's going to be Dixie Carter deciding if Jeff Jarrett gets to run Impact on a weekly basis. Karen Jarrett's back there like, it's going to be big. But yeah, the Fatal 4-Way was good. This match was actually 4 stars. You got 4 former world champions in there. Mr. Anderson, Bobby Roode, Bobby Lashley, and James Storm. I guess he's back from getting beat up by Shera, but yeah, pretty good match. I was really surprised that Bobby Roode won. I thought that it was going to be James Storm. But it was Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode's been complaining that he hasn't been used. And I thought he was going to go into a program with Spud, but I guess not. He won. I guess he faces PJ Black next week. So it'll be that title match and the world title match with Hardy and Carter. And then the last thing was Dixie Carter coming out with new music. And she's brings out Jeff Jarrett. She's going to tell him if he's going to run Impact on a weekly basis. He's like waiting to hear it. She's pretty much saying that she's about to give him the keys to the car. And then Drew Galloway says, Dixie, stop. And then they go on break, whatever. And then he comes out and says, Jeff Jarrett took out Bully Ray and Drew Galloway. And then Jeff Jarrett's like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't do nothing. And then he's like, well, then who was it? And then Karen Jarrett comes out like it was me. Which I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm like, so this woman took out 2 full-grown men wrestlers. I don't get it. As she says, Jeff Jarrett was not in on it, but she's like, I did it because I wanted you to have the keys to the car. This is your company. You founded it. She's like, I took out Bully so you could be the new authority figure. I took out Galloway so that one of our guys could win the King of the Mountain title. And he's like, I didn't ask you to do this, Karen. And she's like, well, I did it, and she's like, join us or whatever. And he's confused. But then he low blows Galloway because he says, I looked in her eyes, Dixie Carter. So because his wife convinced him, he said, fine, we'll take this company by force. So he kicks Drew Galloway in the nuts and he beats him down. Dixie's running away. And then he's like, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. And then the GFW roster come out and they beat the shit out of Galloway. All of them. And then one by one, TNA wrestlers start coming out. Robbie E, Rockstar Spud, the Wolves. And they all have bandages on, and the fucking GFW just beating them down. It's Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, Scott D'Amore, PJ Black, Chris Mordensky, Brian Myers, Royal Red, Lady Tapa, Trevor Lee, and Sanjay Dutt, if I'm not mistaken. And they're all beating the shit out of the TNA roster. And Dixie's like, oh my God, oh my God. And the old Jeff Jarrett's back. And the invasion has started. I'm excited for this, but then some fucking asshole ruined it for me. But I'm still excited to see how they're going to do it. This is the road to Bound for Glory right here, this invasion. A lot of people are crapping on it. I'm a sucker for these type of storylines. So it's probably not even going to last that long because Bound for Glory is like in a month. So yeah, just watch it and give it a chance. So yeah, that's my review. The GFW invasion has begun. And the war is on. TNA versus GFW. 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 See you guys later. Later.